In early September 2023, Greece received a huge storm named Daniel, which poured down a terrifying amount of water, engulfing the entire central region of the country. The torrential rain poured nonstop for 4 days and nights, putting thousands of people in danger. This disaster was not only the largest flood Greece has witnessed in decades, but it was also a bloody reminder of humanity's fragility in the face of nature's wrath. As the rivers raged and overflowed, the city of Volos and many other areas of Thessaly were submerged. A record 754 mm of rain fell in less than a day in the village of Zagora. For comparison, that's the amount of rain that the entire city of Athens receives over the course of a year. The Krafsidonas River crosses its banks, sweeping away everything in its path, including a large bridge. Floodwaters from Hurricane Daniel poured into Greece, not only sweeping away everything it touched, but also carrying terrible power, shattering every wall and every house. The water kept rising like an invisible monster, swallowing the whole street in an instant. Vehicles overturned, trees uprooted, objects such as refrigerators and beds were swept away, spinning in the middle of the fast water. The port city of Volos, the surrounding mountainous region of Pelion, and the two cities of Kardthisa and Thessaly were the worst affected areas. The doors opened, the water spilled into the house as fast as lightning, turning all familiar spaces into battlefields. In that moment, life and death were only one breath apart. In the sky, the heavy atmosphere of dark clouds and thunder made the scene even more intense. Like a cruel warning from nature, a rage that no one could resist. The devastation doesn't stop at Volos. In Magnesia, more than 280 trapped people have been rescued, and many homes have been submerged by rising floodwaters. In the Kardthisa region, in just one day, 331 millimeters of rain fell, turning every road into muddy rivers. Many villages, like Kalambaka and Larissa, fell into a state of complete paralysis. During those terrifying hours, firefighters, police, and rescue teams worked tirelessly to rescue those trapped. The sound of helicopters echoed in the cloudy sky, while on the ground, small boats struggled to weave through flooded streets to get people to safety. Rainfall in Zagora is more than 55 times higher than the average rainfall in September in Greece, as the average rainfall in September is only 16 mm here. Yesterday, September 6th, Some areas of Greece received 698 mm of rainfall, which is equal to the rainfall of an entire year. Heavy flooding has occurred in many cities. On the road, almost every car is half submerged in floodwaters. Prolonged rains over the past days in Greece have turned streets into rivers, villages submerged in water, and many buildings and bridges destroyed by storms and floods. The strength of the storm also spread to neighboring countries, especially in Turkey and Libya. Prolonged rains caused roads in the city to be severely flooded. The Thessaly region, Greece's agricultural heartland, has been hit the hardest. It was the largest flood Greece has ever experienced, according to a statement from the Greek government. The Greek Meteorological Agency said that the torrential rain that lasted for several days is expected to stop. Officials of the two countries have tried to mobilize rescue forces ready to deal with any of the most urgent situations. People need to evacuate to safety. Officials of the two countries have tried to mobilize rescue forces ready to deal with any of the most urgent situations. People need to evacuate to safety. The wrath of nature has left a deep imprint on the history of this country. But in the midst of that chaos, there is a glimmer of hope, human resilience. In the face of disaster, Greece will rise. But the traces of this nightmare will forever remain in the memories of those who have experienced it.